Hi, I'm Brian Cannone again. Thank you for visiting fitnessatlantic.com. I've been doing a series of videos here and talking about competing in shows, getting into shows, learning about them, learning about the different federations that offer events, learning about who's going to help you compete, getting the right advice, talking about criteria. We're going to talk a little bit about the Fitness Atlantic and where we're headed and some of the changes that are happening now. So with Fitness Atlantic, I started off actually back in 1993 producing my first show, and it was an AAU Milford County show, and then I ran the AAU Mr. Miss Connecticut, did that for years. Also ran another one we called the East Coast Iron Classic. We had bodybuilder Skip Cour come in, and he was a guest poser for that event. From there, kind of took a break for about a year from doing those shows, and I co-promoted an ANBC show. It was a Constitution State, did it with another guy, CJ Bouchard. And from there, I just wanted to do something bigger, something really large. So I was given a flyer from one of the shows that was run on ESPN. So I called these people and talked to one of the guys. I remember talking to him, his name's Robin Chang. He answered the phone, he's like, send me some of the stuff that you've done. So I sent them some of my, I used to do some pretty good advertising. For what I did, and from not seeing things done in that fashion, I decided, well, you know, running the AAU Mr. Connecticut, we had these flyers, and these flyers kind of looked like a Chinese food menu. It was just, that was the poster. It was a white poster, one color ink, because it was the cheapest. It had a picture of the guest poser right in the center, and it had some sponsors at the bottom. And then what you do is you drive around every gym in the state, and you try to hang these things up. To me, I found that, for one, the poster wasn't that exciting. The sponsors weren't really anybody big. They were usually people that helped, you know, the photographer or the video guy or somebody that did your flower arrangements. And the gyms at that point were going more and more into a mainstream market. They were getting away from doing anything that was hardcore, anything that was considered bodybuilding. So even back then, I saw the changes that needed to go on. So I started having some graphic people help me. We did a fold-out brochure for the AAU show, and it was pretty neat. It was three-fold. It had information on it, and you could just tear it off, fill out your stuff, mail it back in. It was pretty cool, you know, so that was definitely something that I looked forward to doing. I started getting away from posters. I've gotten away from posters for years because I would just do a couple of them maybe and put them in supplement stores. Other than that, the gyms I just knew were not going to take them. I was doing a gym route through the state of Connecticut. I knew which way to go, all the way to Hartford area, all the way to the Stamford, Greenwich, even Greenwich. There was a gym called Pumping Iron. I'd go all the way there. Try to hang up my poster, and you just knew it wasn't going to get hung up. You know, there's some guys, some organizations were just sending these out, and I was working in gyms. I'd get them, and I know I got to throw this in the garbage. I can't put it up. It's just, it's a different market. When you're going from doing bodybuilding stuff and trying to market it in health clubs, you know, even nowadays, these posters are not going up in LA Fitness. They never went up in Bally's. They're not going up in these clubs. They're definitely not going up in Planet Fitness. So to get these shows out, the information, I started doing these cards. So I did postcards. I've been big on postcards. I put these in a postcard holder, and usually everybody on my mailing list will get this from me, you know, usually in December or November, or even sometimes as late as January. But it's for the April show. You'll see a glossy postcard. Usually put some of the winners on it. Each year, do different cards. And this is my way of getting the show out and producing the shows. A lot of people don't do this stuff. They still do posters. You know, they mail out these posters to people, and you know they're just not going anywhere. Advertising on the internet is huge now. That's pretty much the way to get the information out about shows, and you'll find out most of the things you want to know about those particular events are going to be found online. So we're talking about some of the changes that have happened. And when I started producing Fitness Atlantic in 1999, really it was the Fitness Atlantic Pageant, and it was a Musclemania qualifier event. So it was a all-natural show, and the first year was the Palace Theater in 1999. It was very hard for me at the age of 26 to get the Palace Theater. It's 2,000-seat theater. It was very expensive, and I just knew that you want to step it up from a high school from going from Fairfield High School is where we had the Mr. and Miss Connecticut, and stepping it up to a place that, Broadway shows are run and concerts. So it took a lot of phone calls, it took a lot of meeting with different vendors, and really putting a lot on the line. Promoters have a hard time. It's not easy to run these shows. You put a lot of money out and hope that at least comes back and that you can at least make a break even. Some guys do pretty well. Eventually you do well, you keep sticking it out, a promoter will be pretty successful. But it's a hard thing. It's a lot of passion, it's a lot of hobby, and you want to eventually make your show a little bit more known and reputable and a big deal. And that's hard to do. But it's definitely in the way that the show is marketed, the way that it's put out there, the way that you attract more competitors to your show. The competitors will bring your audience for you, but you also want to look at the whole package. So we went with Musclemania and Fitness America until last year. So I decided to break away from that federation and go with the WBFF. WBFF has a different feel for it, and the reason being is that it was created by an athlete. The difference is when before I was dealing with business people and they look at it a certain way. When you come from it, and myself coming in as a former athlete, someone who competed in the shows, you understand what's important to your people. And to me, it was a lot of frustration through the years, and decided to finally break away, go with WBFF. And before I did that, though, I ran this year's show independently. So Fitness Atlantic had no federation. It was just on its own, just bang. I was just going to do Fitness Atlantic by itself. But after talking with Paul Dillett, he's a former IFBB professional bodybuilder. Been in the Mr. Olympia top 5, won the Night of Champions. Someone who's been to the top of the industry. And when that person from the top of the industry holds the same frustrations as I, it's pretty good feeling when you know that you want to make some changes. And some of the things that are different are about his criteria and what he's going for, but it's mainly that it's a huge production. He gives you a production. He gives you, God, you go to the WBFF Worlds and he has $50,000 into his stage and lighting. It's just amazing. It's an amazing show. So I was, happy enough to go and glad that I went to his Quebec show this past June. And I got to tell you, it was wonderful. He gives, every competitor walks in, you walk away with a goodie bag filled with $250 worth of freebies, gym products and stuff like that in this really nice EAS bag, one of his sponsors. The stage production is just top notch, lighting, haze, smoke, and he gives away a lot of things that other people don't do. When he goes to his sponsors, he makes sure that the sponsors are combined in with the athletes. So you're getting something for competing, not just your trophy. You're getting photo shoots, magazine spreads. You're getting prizes like endorsement contracts from the sponsors that are put into the package. So it's very exciting. I look forward to it, and we'll be talking about some of the changes in criteria coming up in the next series of videos. Thank you.